There you are. Okay, today we're going to look at a book called It's Never Too Late to Begin Again, Discovering Creativity and Meaning at Midlife and Beyond. So this book is written by Julia Cameron, who also wrote The Artist's Way. That's a book that I did about 15 years ago. It's a book meant to help you discover your creative spark. And this one is, I think, pretty much geared to do the same thing and has been adapted for people my age. But I think anybody can do either book. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't gotten through the whole book yet. I would recommend if you're under 50, do The Artist's Way. If you're over 50, do The Artist's Way, and then do this. No, I don't know. This may be better. We'll find out. In chapter 1, it's really about the title. It's Never Too Late to Begin Again is the title. And so never too late, or if it's too late, or that's sort of the recurring phrase or theme. And in it, she talks about reigniting a sense of wonder. So we're going to delve into childhood. And you begin with a memoir. Now, in addition to this, there are some other things in the introduction of the book that she talks about doing as you are doing the program, because more than a book, it's really a program. And if you're committed to the program, then you're going to get more out of the book. For me to do something on a weekly basis, I probably need a little bit more structure. So my friend Nancy has agreed to do the book with me. Okay, in this book, she talks about the inner censor, which is every time you answer a question in the book, your inner censor is going to pop up and say, oh, no, you can't do that because, and you have to acknowledge that that's just an inner censor. Now, my sister and I have a character that we refer to as Backseat Betty, and she's the lady who tells you how terrible your driving is and you didn't ask for her opinion. There are some things in this book that they ask you to do in addition to the tasks that are in the chapters. And one of those things is to take a walk a couple of times a week without your dog, without your husband, without your cell phone. And we were talking about this in the last episode, how I have trouble doing things that don't have an end goal. So this is going to be something interesting for me. The other thing that this book and The Artist's Way really pushes is morning pages. It's something Julia Cameron came up with, where you wake up and first thing in the morning you write in a journal. And it's just free-form writing. Whatever thoughts you have, you just dump on the page. And I found that to be incredibly helpful when I did the book, The Artist's Way, about 15 years ago. And I'm going to start doing that again because I think it'll be interesting what kind of stuff comes up. Okay, in addition to the memoir of the first chapter, which continues on every week that you do the program, you focus on a different period in your life. So I'm doing 5-year increments where from ages 0 to 5, you remember where you lived and what was your favorite toy and did you have a pet and just little pieces of memory. And I think that exercise continues to go for every 5 years. The thing that I found interesting, more so than the memoir, is this section called Never Too Late. And in it, the task is to write down everything you can think of after the words, if it weren't too late, I'd fill in the blank. And I said some interesting things. What did I say? Oh, let me find my paper and I'll tell you what I said. Should be a journal, but I didn't bring a journal with me to Nancy's house this morning, and so she tore 2 pages out of her composition book for me. If it weren't too late, I'd... And what I, Sally, said in my study of one was compete as a bodybuilder. Okay, my sensor just popped up there, right? It's Backseat Betty. She doesn't know anything about bodybuilding. Study jazz composition. That's definitely something I'm interested in. Learn to play the guitar. Live in Europe or Canada. Be a model. My favorite one on here, astral travel. Okay, so here's something that Nancy and I talked about. She said the "if it weren't too late" prompt didn't work as well for her. I'm being distracted. There's a squirrel out here right in front of the window. It's very hard to focus. Squirrel! If you do the exercise, just look and see what it is that backseat Betty would feel inclined to remark on and use that as your prompt. Like, if it weren't too late, backseat Betty's way of saying that with it, well, it's too late for you to do blah, blah, blah. Or if it weren't, if it didn't matter about how practical it was, backseat Betty would be saying, well, that's just not practical. Or if money were no object, and she would be commenting that you couldn't do that because you could never have enough money to do something like that. So just look and see what are the things that are in your way and turn it around into the prompt that you need to start writing down the kinds of things that you fantasize about doing. And if you don't fantasize, see what pops up when you say, if money were no object, if time were no problem. Ooh, that's a good one. If time were no problem. If I didn't worry about what people thought, I would. Come up with your own thing, but you'll know it when you feel it. So this is your study of one and my study of one. It did kind of work for me to say if it weren't too late, because there are a lot of things I think I'm way past my prime in being able to do things like bodybuild or model or whatever I wrote down. Astral travel. I don't think it's too late to astral travel, honestly. I think my time is now. Okay, so I'm inviting you to check this book out. You can literally check it out from your local library, and if they don't carry it, you can ask them to order it from another library on an interlibrary loan. Our library here where I live is quite small, but I can get just about any book I want from them by using interlibrary loan services. So get this book, get it at the bookstore, get it on Amazon if you want to feed the machine, or just ask the librarian to order it for you. Start thinking, what is in your way to doing some of the things or being some of the things that you have wanted to be, but you didn't because something was in your way. Till next time. Oh, I almost forgot. Like, subscribe, and put the little bell on, you know, that subscribe bell. I don't know, is it over here somewhere? I'm not sure. I need to find that out before I start pointing at my camera. Okay, hit that bell for notifications, because apparently YouTube doesn't care if you subscribe. They only care if you want to be notified. So join me in a study of one. Later.